I am Dr. Jacob Lauritzen, and this is Read, Write, and Cite, the channel where I teach you how to read, write, and cite. And today is November 1st, which means it's NaNoWriMo. If you aren't familiar with NaNoWriMo, NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month, NaNoWriMo. And it's an excuse for people like me who put off writing books. Only this year, unlike writing a fiction novel or something like that, I am going to be writing a textbook. I'm writing a book called Read, Write, and Cite, where I'm going to explain some of the big lessons that I teach in my college classes, put them all in one place, make them in book form so people like you can read them, and hopefully it'll be a really good resource for you. Okay, in this video, I want to talk to you on some tips and tricks that you can do to actually write a novel in 1 month. See, that's the challenge of NaNoWriMo. The challenge is to write 50,000 words during the month of November, and it is incredibly difficult if you don't have a structure. You have to have a system, a way to go about getting your roughly 1,600 plus words a day. If you do that every day of November, you'll end up with 50,000 words at the end of the month. Now, the goal of the challenge of NaNoWriMo, and you can check out more at nanowrimo.org, NaNoWriMo.org. Oh man, I had to think too much about that. The challenge is not to write a polished novel, but to complete a rough draft. And so the second thing you need to remember, in addition to having a structure, a system for actually getting that many words done a day, is that you can't let yourself erase anything. When you sit at a computer screen and you start doubting yourself and you start thinking, oh man, no, I don't like that. That's not good. I got to change that. You'll never get 1,600 words a day, much less 50,000 words in a month. So it's important, one, that you have a structure. You figure out a system. You know, how do you schedule your time of day? When are you going to write every single day? And then you need to let yourself make mistakes. You need to let yourself write without deleting a bunch of stuff. If you do that, you'll slowly get some momentum, right? And if you have momentum, it's going to make it easier to get your 1,600 words a day and to start racking up thousands and thousands of words. So a third thing you need to remember is that you can't make excuses. You can't say, well, today I'm not going to write because, there's this other thing that's more important. And maybe it is. Maybe it is more important. I'm not saying writing is more important, but it still needs to happen. If you start prioritizing other things first, then it won't happen. And you'll never break out of that mold of having an idea maybe you've sat on for a long time, but just never followed through on because you were always too busy. You always had too much to do. I'm too busy to do this. I don't have time to write a book, but I've decided I'm going to stop making that excuse, and I'm just going to do it. I woke up early in the morning. I haven't gotten ready. That's why I've got my hat on, because I'm covering up my hair. But I'm making it a priority. In fact, it's something that I want to continue to do past November. And that's the fourth thing you need to remember, is that you don't need to find an agent. You don't need to find a manager. You don't need to find a publisher to share your work with someone else. Now, there are some fairly famous examples of books that were written because of NaNoWriMo. The first one that comes to mind was the book Water for Elephants. It ended up being turned into a movie that had, I forgot her name. Okay, it's Robert Pattinson, Pattinson. Sorry, said it wrong. Sorry, Twilight fans. And Reese Witherspoon. That's who it was. Anyway, they ended up being in this movie, and it was a book someone decided in the month of November that they were just going to write. But what a lot of people do is they decide that they're going to self-publish it. They're going to put it together in their own book and just put it out there for people to read. In fact, a lot of people are able to be very successful without finding an agent, a manager, a publishing company to decide to print their work, because you can do it by yourself. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to self-publish this, and I'll take you along for the ride. I'll show you every step of the way what I'm doing to write the book, to send it out to readers, to edit the book, and ultimately to publish it, so that you and others can benefit from this institutional knowledge teachers like me have been gathering, that we share, but to make it accessible to you so you can read it without a teacher present, on your own convenience, and maybe you can even help me with the process to read this. See, my plan is, once I finish this in November, I'm going to spend December sending it out to people like you to help me to fix it, to make it better, to add the things that I overlooked, and just fix the things that I missed altogether. So these are 4 important concepts that are going to help you to be successful throughout NaNoWriMo. 1, you have to find a structure. You got to make it part of your every single day to knock out those 1,600 words so that you can get it done. 2, you can't delete anything. You have to write without stopping to delete your work, because you're doubting yourself. You can't doubt yourself. 3, you can't make excuses. You can't take a day off. You can't decide that, well, today I'm just tired, I want to sleep. You can't do that. And 4, you have to understand that there is an avenue for you to share this. You don't have to wait for the publishing fairy, the author gods to come find you and grant you with confirmation that your writing matters, because it already does. The fact that you're writing, the fact that you have a perspective to share with the world, is enough. Even if you put it out there and other people don't read it, that's okay. You did it. You got it done. And that's what NaNoWriMo is all about. Maybe your first book won't be a success, maybe it will. But you won't know if you don't write it. So, come join this journey with me. Be a part of NaNoWriMo. Every single day in the month of November, we're going to write. And we're going to hold ourselves accountable by posting it online. So here's video 1. Tips and tricks, right here on Read, Write, and Cite. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.